Welcome to Marketing, Media, and Money, your go-to podcast for proven profitable strategies, secrets, and resources from industry experts and global influencers to help you scale your business, shorten your learning curve, and stand out in a crowded, noisy marketplace. Here's your host, award-winning marketing and media strategist and international speaker, Patty Farmer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Marketing, Media, and Money podcast. And I am so excited to be here today because I have somebody here that, well, first of all, I really want you to meet him. But not only that, it is somebody that I have to tell you, when I went to PodFest, and I know I've told you guys about it, and when I went to Cap Show Live, like he was one of the speakers, and we spent so much time together. Like after he spoke, I think we had breakfast, we had lunch, we had dinner, we so hung out together and stuff. And I have to tell you, I just knew right then and there that it was like, oh, I need to bring you into my community and let them get to know you. So we were finally able to make that happen. So let me tell you about it. We're going to talk today about how to grow your business with the Livestream blueprint. So if you've been thinking that maybe you're not getting what you want to get out of YouTube, or maybe you're thinking that you are getting what you want out of YouTube, well, we're going to shake that up and help you to realize that there's always more. There's always just a little bit more. And you're going to hear about that today. So let me tell you about him. So JP Hightek is a global branding and media expert. He's recognized as a trailblazing figure in the realm of personal branding and creativity. JP's impactful leadership has earned him features in the esteemed publications, including CNN, Bloomberg, ABC, NBC, Google News, Fox, Yahoo News, ESPN, and more. In his role as the visionary founder of the Perfect Zone Productions, he's hailed as one of the premier one-stop shop media and branding agencies in Tennessee. JP has redefined the concept of a brand. His influence extends beyond conventional business boundaries, aiding individuals, entrepreneurs, organizations, and small business owners in discovering and embodying their distinctive trademarked identity. So, JP, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored and excited to share the stage with you today.
I'm so excited too. But because we were saying how you have redefined it, I want to start right with, how do you define brand? Because I have to tell you, some people think it's your logo, which we all know it's not. Some people think it's your font and hex codes and all those kind of things. But since you've redefined it, let's kind of talk about that. So to you, how do you define brand?
Man, this is such a fantastic way to start. Thank you for that question, right? Branding is what I love, is what I do. And so how did I redefine branding? Well, of course, like you said, right? Most people think branding is your logos, your fonts, and the hex codes, or the different designs that you have, the implementation of the colors and combination of imagery and all of that. But I tell you, branding is simply establishing a unique relationship in the eyes of a potential buyer. Let me repeat that. Establishing a specific relationship in the eyes of a potential buyer. Why did I say specific? Because specifically, you can redefine or reshape your brand every time you see fit, right? So you can control the narrative whenever you decide, right? This is the story I want to tell people. And with that, when you work with a branding expert, they can help you tell your story in that specific, unique way, which is in return are going to allow you to attract the specific target audience, which are the people that you want to grow with and sell your product or services to.
Ooh, that's a good answer. And it is an answer that's not the same as what everybody else says. So I really love that, because we all know that if you're doing it right, people don't want to just hear what you have to say. They'll share what you have to say if you're doing it right. And that's the name of the game, right? So I think that is really important. So let's kind of start with a story. I think stories and storytelling is such an important part. So could you share the story behind the founding of Perfect Zone Productions, and specifically what inspired you to start a one-stop shop media and branding agency?
Oh, wow. Perfect Zone Production, this is my baby, right? And of course, like I always say, you can't judge me unless you know my story. And my story is part of my testimony, right? Perfect Zone Productions today is what it is simply because of a vision, right? One day back then, I used to do cinematography, right? That's all I will offer people, cinematography, video, services. And so I'll go to churches and different places. I remember one of my very first contracts I was so excited about was $75, right? Just $75. Back then, it was not the amount. It was the simple fact to be recognized and to be booked for a project, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to grab my tools and go. Well, I've grown from there, and I've had customers and people ask me, hey, do you do graphic design? Do you do photography? Do you do web design, right? You do mobile TV app development. And so things started adding to it. Well, people that know me, they know I love, being an expert in something, meaning I want to go back, learn, and really speak about it. Or if I want to provide that service, know what I am talking about, right? And not just wing it. So what I did is go back, learn how to be a great, graphic designer. There are courses. I took the courses, passed the courses. I learned how to code with Python, right? Python coding. I started developing TV applications. Then I went back and learned how to master photography. And guess what? Purchase the equipment, make sure that I can deliver in what I want, right? High-end quality, and added those services. I call that the rules of multiplication, right? So as I was multiplying and growing from the foundation of imagery and brand visibility, my company started growing. Perfect Zone Production wasn't just a cinematography company. It became a branding agency, which the one-stop shop is simply because when you come to us, you don't need to go anywhere else because we have you taken care of from the vision, the concept to execution, right? We have a team of experts that know what it takes to build a brand and to market that brand, allowing you to really make an impact and dominate your competition, leveraging technology, and we're still growing. And here's what I will say before I give it back to you, Patty. It is dangerous to work with any company that will tell you to know it all. I will tell you I don't. Because every day, if you live in technology, there's always something new. And you have to be willing to learn, to expand your knowledge so you are always ahead of the competition and really you can deliver and make your customers' life better by introducing solutions that will really transform their processes that they have in place.
That's so true. And there's two things I really kind of want to unpack with that. One is that it's really nice when you have a one-stop shop because it's cohesive then, right? Mm-hmm. Rather than when you have all these different ones and then you've got to try to put it all together, right? Right. So that's really, really nice when you can hire one company that can do all those things. But what you said that I really love about how things are changing is also your clients tell you what they want next, mm-hmm. right? They'll ask you, they say that to me at my event. Oh, Patty, what would be really great? No, what would be really great? It would be really great if you could do this. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, how would you want me to do that? Right. So instead of going out and saying, oh, yes, I just want to do all these things. And you don't even know if your clients want those things. Right. They tell you what they want because it makes sense for them mm-hmm. to say, well, you know what? I'm doing this with you. The next step is this. And then when you do things and you say, well, you know what? I kind of think that the next step for you might be this. Now they trust you to be like, oh, okay. If you tell me that that's what I need to do, then that's probably what I need to do. And then they know that it's going to be cohesive with what they've already done. Because I'm sure everybody that's listening has had to go back and redo something, right? Mm-hmm. You did it. And then as you grow and you kind of evolve and your brand evolves, your business evolves, you're like, oh, well, that thing I did 3 years ago doesn't work anymore. Oh, this thing here doesn't. Right. Those pictures don't really work. So I think that's really great. And then the other thing I want to say about that is when you build a relationship mm-hmm. with that person, once they understand your vision and they understand your mission and your values and you kind of align and you have that relationship, then they're going to know what those next steps are for you because they're going to say, oh, guess what? I just saw this thing right here. Patty, that would be so great if you did that. And maybe if you're not ready now, just kind of think about it and we can step into that or whatever the case may be. And that is a whole lot easier than hearing about some new technology. Going, oh, wow, I think I'd like to be able to do that. I wonder who I'd have to get to do that. And then,
Right.
And then 20 people tell you all different ways. So like, find your person, right? And if you build a relationship and it's full of trust and all that kind of stuff, like that's really the name of the game as far as I'm concerned. What about you?
I love what you're saying, Patty, and it's so true and so real on so many levels. And this is, I love that we're talking about it because a lot of people struggle with their brand, not because they have the wrong team, simply because like you hear people say, you can't have more than one captain in the boat. I say, you can have multiple captains, but I don't recommend it. Why? Because depending on who the captain is, they're going to want to go a specific direction. Right. And so that's the thing. If you have different artists working on one specific vision, they will come with a specific direction that they know. Let me give you a specific example because I love painting pictures. I'm a creator. Imagine you want to build a house. You can either go see a builder, a local builder that will build the house for you. They'll probably have, a blueprint to introduce to you, or you can go see an architect. Now, each one of those two people, they can build a house for you. Now, they each have a specific experience and different direction they may or may not go, depending on the route they want to take to achieve the vision that you're looking for. If it's a 5-bedroom with chandeliers and all of that, right? So here's the thing. The architect might notice certain things and will take a specific direction because they know as an architect that if they started maybe on a specific side of the land, they will not be able to achieve something that you want. The builder, if they don't have the background or expertise of the architect, they may not see what the architect saw. So they may not understand why the architect decided to go left. And they said, you can just go right and get it done. At the end of the day, you will have a house. But there's a huge difference on the quality of the house you will have and the sustainability of that house against adversity. And that is what we deliver, because I have customers and clients tell me, yo, JP, thank you. Because I didn't always, I wasn't always a company that would give you everything, right? And they say, thank you, because now not only you can deliver on almost every facet of branding, you understand my vision, you understand my story, and you can tell it better. Not that I'm a better at videography, not that we're the best with graphic design, but because we have it all together and we have all those different facets, we can shape and tell a story more effectively than if you were just to go to, let's say, a video editor. That is not a branding expert. So he doesn't understand everything that goes in it, right? He will edit the video fantastic, but it might be a sore thumb, right?
Well, and like you said, input equals output, right?
Exactly.
And they do work as good as what you give them. And if that's not your area of expertise, well, then what are you going to do? I think that this is sort of like an example of going to a web developer and a website designer.
Yes.
If you need a website, because I have to tell you, back in the day, one time I hired a website developer because I thought that's what I should do. And he's like, well, what do you want it to do? And I was like, oh, I want it this and this, and I want it this and this and this. And he's like, oh yeah, I can code that. I can code that. I can code that. It cost me a fortune. And it didn't do everything I wanted it to do in the way that I wanted it to do. But he was not an entrepreneur, right? He was a web developer. The next time I did it, I hired a web designer. And that web designer said, well, tell me what your vision is and what is it that you want it to do? And I told him, he's like, oh, okay, well, that's great. But just so you know, there's a plugin for that. Like, you know what I mean? And so literally all those special coded things, half of those things there actually were already plugins. He just had to customize them for me, right? He just had to customize them. And that website probably was like 1/10 of what I paid for the first one, right? So you really got to know, like, do you want somebody who's going to get it, who's a designer, or somebody who never leaves the office, doesn't do it themselves, doesn't have it in their own brand, and they just know how to, like a hacker, right? Whatever. So I think that is really, really important. So I hope the audience is like really kind of getting the visual for what those two things are. So here's what I want to say. So you have this extensive background in media and technology, right? So how do you integrate those fields to enhance personal and corporate branding, to help you build trust and loyalty with your audience by showcasing transparency, authenticity, genuine connection. Like, how do you get all that in there and integrate all that together when you're using media and technology?
Fantastic question. One word.
It's a big question, though.
I know it is, right? Well, one word I'll tell you is knowing how to create an emotion in the eyes of the people that you're selling yourself to. Let's understand one thing, right? A personal brand is all about establishing a unique, private, intimate relationship with your audience. A corporate is leveraging your personal to position the corporate. The corporate always relies on the person. And here's the thing, a corporate brand.
That was really good. That was like a nugget right there. That was like mic drop nugget. I hope everybody got that. I'm going to back up and say that again, because that part was like, they might not have got that.
A corporate brand always relies on a personal brand, right? There's no corporate brand that can survive in today's world independently. Mm-hmm. And these are based on facts, all right? And so why? 2020, COVID taught us one thing. People are interested in the face behind the brand. They want to know who are they partnering with? Who is the person we're working with? And what they do, of course, is look at what I call your extracurricular activities. So, as you know, a corporate brand today may pick to work with influencers or, select people that they want to use as the face of their brand. Those are people that will be quote unquote ambassadors and help promote their products. In essence, be the intimate relationship that you're looking for, right? And so what those people are doing on their social lives, the things that they're part of, the conversations that they're interested in, the audience, which are the buyers, the consumers, want to know. What are you interested in? Why is this important? Well, they developed something unique, meaning if they can see themselves with you, working with you in your life, if they see that you're into bowling, for example, and they love bowling, guess what? You're going to see your sales soar. Your sales are going to go higher. What just happened? Well, why don't you take Elon, for example? If you invest in the stock market, you understand what I'm talking about. If you invest in the stock market in Tesla, you understand that whatever he does influences the stock market. But why? Well, it's because of the personal brand that's behind it. If Elon were to make a decision that people that did not appreciate, guess what they're doing? Selling their stocks. That is how this is powerful. This is so powerful that we need to understand how to leverage technology to tell our story and position our company. And that's what I do, right? Everything that I do today, you name it, whether it is creating content, going live, speaking on stages, whether it's working with a customer or promoting a specific brand that we partner with, right? Or whether it's being on podcasts like right now, everything that I do, if you look closely, does two things. One, bring you into an intimate relationship with me as a person. Two, positions my company, which is the ultimate corporate brand that I have. And that's why servicing customers whenever they come to my doors. And that's how I'm able to leverage my extensive background, my tech, and everything I do to position and build and sustain my brand today.
Love that. So live video has become a very powerful tool in digital marketing, right?
Oh, yes.
So let's talk about the impact on brand visibility and engagement, because really, like live video, it is so powerful now that, like, if you're not doing it, like, you're not doing it.
Right. Right, exactly. And I'm grateful that, we're talking about this and, live video transform my business. Okay. I was making money before live video, but once I incorporated live video, things changed for me. I started making way more than I thought I could make, right? Why is that? Well, it's because live video introducing something unique, which is community. Now, let me back up real 1 second. If you own a small business or a business period, there's one thing that you should care about, which is marketing. Everyone wants to market their product, wants to promote, right, Patty? And we understand, you know that better than anybody else here, right? Now, here's the thing. When it comes up to marketing, different people will say different things, but it all comes to one thing. You need to spend money, in essence, to put your product in the eyes of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Some people will tell you, you got to go and promote on social media. You got to pay for ads. You got to pay YouTube, or you got to, run email ads, or whatever the strategy is you need to promote. Well, large organizations will tell you, well, they're looking for data. They want to know what the customers, the consumers are interested in. What do they want? How are they feeling about the product? What are the conversations they're having? You can only do that live and have those data that you're looking for instantly when you have a live event. That is why whenever there's major events like the Super Bowl or you name it, right? Everybody gathers. My favorite TV show, even though I can watch it on demand, guess what? The average person wants to go watch it live if they can catch it live. Why is that? Because you're creating something that's bigger than the person. Whoever is coming to watch it feels bigger than just watching it.
Well, people go to the Super Bowl just so they can watch the halftime show.
Exactly.
The commercials, right? They're like, oh, I want to see the commercials because they want to see how all the brands literally showed up for that, right? I mean, it's huge. Like when the game's over, after everybody's talking about who won, yada, 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 what do they talk about for a week afterwards? What was your favorite ad? Who was your favorite performer? So really, it's all about how they show up and reflected their brand is so powerful.
Exactly.
So powerful.
And how much are they paying, right? Think about how much they pay millions of dollars, right? But you're there for a few seconds. Why? Because the world is watching. Who should care about the world? Those are the buyers. Those are the people that are truly interested. And whenever that's happening, ask yourself one question. Can I watch the Super Bowl on demand? Yeah, it's available on demand. But there's something that's missing. The excitement of being part of something that's bigger than yourself. So that is called community. Community is a group of people that are interested in similar things and want to do similar activities. And so they feel like they're a part of a family, and they know at this very moment, I'm not by myself. We have so many other people that are celebrating the same thing right now, which is called the unknown, fear of missing out. They feel like if they're not there, they're missing something major. And that is what live video brings to the table, which is why I say every single business today need to incorporate in a way or another live video in their growth strategy. Don't just do videos. Try to find a way to create a conversation, define time that you establish where you can have real, genuine, authentic conversation with the people that want to hear from you. And when you do that, your community is the best thing because they're self-ambassadors of your product and they will purchase that every single time without you even asking them. Why? Because they feel part of something bigger than themselves.
Oh, I love it. And I can't wait to tell you my new thing. Not on my podcast, though, because it's all about you. But in our next conversation, I have something big to share with you.
Nice.
Anyway, moving on. So will you share, so we're talking about story. So could you share a success story where live video significantly transformed a client's brand and business?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I have...
I'm sure you have lots of them. But...
Yes, I have, I'll give you one, which is she's a speaker, right? I'll keep her name off, but she's a, public speaker, a very known public speaker, right? Prior to me, she had a very good brand, right? She was on stages and doing amazing things, making six figures every month. She was very, very, popular and doing her thing. However, she asked me a question. She said, JP, everybody keeps telling her that she needed to get with me because she needed to leverage video, and specifically YouTube. But she said she has a YouTube channel and, it's just a YouTube channel, barely, 50 subscribers and all that. She doesn't know how to leverage that to help her make any more money. She's like, I'm making good money every month. You truly believe this YouTube is going to do anything special? I looked at her and smiled. I said, listen, the biggest search engine in the world is YouTube. And out of YouTube, you have Google because Google owns YouTube. She's like, well, that's true. Yep. I said, let me repeat that. You don't get it. The largest search engine in the world is Google and being on YouTube. So here's the thing. The most powerful tool to spark an emotion and to drive eyes and attention to your product or services is video. And Google on YouTube allows you to put millions of eyes on your product and services more than you can ever travel physically to. So if you're not leveraging video, if you're making great money, now leveraging video, you're about to 10x the amount of money you're making instantly, because video speaks volume. And so she said, all right, let's do it. And I said, one strategy, you have to be able to commit to one specific schedule, live streaming once a week for at least 6 months. She agreed, and she started doing that. The first 90 days, nothing special happened. I told her, stay consistent, continue what you're doing. Something happened, she told me, when she reached month number 5. She said, all of a sudden, she started getting so many emails. And of course, there's other strategies that we implemented for her, but essentially that was it. And she said, she started getting emails, even though she said her concern at first was like her videos were not getting a lot of views, like 100, 250s. I told her not to focus on the views, but to focus on the quality that she's delivering, the information, and the strategy implemented in the video in order to redirect the traffic to her product or service so people can book her. She said, all right, she's going to focus on that. We established her branding and everything she needed to go live. And I'm telling you, she said her inbox is full. She said people constantly asking her, hey, we watch your podcast. We want you on our stage. We watch your podcast. We watch you on our stage. She has quadrupled how much money she was making by quadrupling, listen good, the organic traffic she was bringing through the doors of her business. And that is what I want people to focus on, right? Because that's what live video does for you. It allows you to do, one, establish your product or service, right, in the eyes of people that are looking for it. 2, position you as the expert. 3, if you do it right, helps you sell more of your product and services without you having to spend any extra money going to anybody. And that is one thing that is done for my business and is done for this customer as well, and which is amazing.
I love that. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room. So what role do you see AI, right, in the live video space in pre and post-production? So we have pre-production, we have post-production. So what role do you see AI playing there? And what tips or resources do you have for content creators and entrepreneurs when they integrate AI? Because, I think there's things you should do, things maybe we shouldn't do. And I think everybody right now, AI is what everybody's talking about. And so in live video, pre-production, post-production, like where are we using AI?
Great question.
What can it do for us? But, really honestly, it is live video, right? Well,
AI is great, right? I personally use AI, but we need to understand that, AI is only as good as the input that you add to it. Let me repeat that. AI is only as good as the input, which are called, AKA the prompts that you're putting into the AI software solution that you have, regardless of what AI you have, right? What AI solution you have. So the question is, what type of input are you putting into the AI? That's very important, right? I will tell people, we need to leverage that to complement what we're doing, not replace what we're doing, okay? AI should be a complement, right? Should help you in the process, the things that you're doing before, do it faster, not replace what you've been doing. That's very dangerous because AI still relies on human input in order to establish itself. And human factor is always going to be there. And I was in a different meeting where the person said that the AI is the suggester, but the human is the closer, right? And so one thing that I always tell people is this. Listen, personally, before I start any project, video project, right, I brainstorm with one of my cheapest, most, available 24/7 AI assistant. I brainstorm, right? So I write notes on the type of video I want to produce. And that's the thing again, you need to have a blueprint before you record your videos and all of that. So I type that in, right? Here are the 5 ideas of what I'm trying to achieve. Remember, the final product is what I'm talking about. So I put that in, right? I want to, record a video to help people master A, B, and C. What type of title will you suggest, right? But remember, I told the AI solution what I'm trying to, do ultimately. And then the AI now suggests titles to me, which you can go on ChatGPT right now and do, which is you can have a free account and do that right now. Here's the thing. ChatGPT will give you suggested ideas. Now, those titles are not for you to just take and run with. Those are just suggestions to help your brain keep going. From there, I start thinking, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, yeah, that would be a great idea. So now I work on 3 titles from the suggestions that I may want to call my product, right? And then now structure my video that I want to record. And I tell them, hey, in this video, these are the 3 specific things that I want people to get out of it. Because remember, I'm the expert. I know what I want to teach people in this specific video. So I tell it. Now, based on this information and based on what I'm trying to give me additional ideas that will support, right? Remember, the prompt is very important. That will support these specific ideas and areas of expertise of mine. And then it will ingest all of that out to you and tell you exactly what you're looking for. Now I take that and now I'll go and use that information that I just brainstormed and put together, and now I record my video.
I think that the thing that I love about, I'm an ambassador for Capsho. I love them and stuff. But what's great about them, and some of the other ones too, but I really love them, is the thing that I think people need to remember is even though you're uploading, the video to it, you're the person on the video, right? You're the person who is doing the video. So it's pulling all the content from what you're saying. So it's not like you just went into ChatGPT and said, oh, tell me this, this, and this, and gave it some prompts. It is your content because you are the person speaking, right? So I think that is really important for people to remember that, again, it's only as good as the input that you give it. So JP, what role would you say that technology plays in streamlining live video production? And I know that we were just talking about some tools and resources. And so we were talking about Opus Clips, and we were talking about Capsho and how much we love them, right? So technology does have a place, but it only has a place to support you because it's only as good, like you're saying, as the input, because we're really talking about, whoever is the person doing the live video, right? It is our content. It is our voice. So really, we don't have to worry about that when we use it. You just don't want to use it to replace you. But as long as you're just using it to enhance you before and after, I think it can work. So how would you say businesses can use live video to not only attract and convert their customers, but to also build long-lasting relationships with them? Because I feel like live video can just really do that well.
It does, and I love that because we talk about how AI is, something that we're using to leverage what we already know and really support the human factor that we are. Like I said, right, using Opus Clip, uploading your video there and making sure that using that to cut short clips and short real video, 60 seconds that you can download and share, using Capsho to upload your video or content podcast there. And then Capsho helps you with the titling, description of the video, and then other things that you can use as a, text prompt to put into a blog post and share with your followers and subscribers to your email list, things like that, supporting what you do. Now, when you go live, right, you are leveraging technology to build a unique experience and to foster a community with your followers. Here's the thing, right? Technology plays a major role when you go live, right? You need to use a technology of some sort in order to connect it to the internet and in order to go live. Here's the thing, depending on the type of live that you want to do, I said type because if you read my book, you know that you have 4 to 5, right, levels of going live. You have level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the lowest level is just using your cell phone, right? And then the highest level is, using solutions which are encoders on your computer, allowing you to highly brand the element and really go live at a TV level, TV broadcast, cable TV level, right? And so now, whenever you're doing that, the ultimate thing is to understand that a live video is a live event. I say that all the time. You're not just streaming, and that's where a lot of people make that mistake, where they miss the opportunity to really foster that community element that I'm talking about, which is really what causes people to want to continue the conversation with you after the live streaming is over, right? And so what do I mean by as an event? Well, think about it. Whenever you want to join a virtual summit, right? A virtual event or a conference or anything of some sort, what are you looking for? You're looking for a place to register, and you're looking for what am I going to get out of this, right? You want a clear call to action, tell you exactly what you're going to get out of this. Remember, you got to tell people that whenever you schedule, and I always tell people, don't just get up and go live like that, right? Out of nowhere, people were not expecting it. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. Schedule the live stream, right? Inform people that at a specific date and time, you intend to go live, and these are the things that you'll be talking about. That creates anticipation, right? Expectation, and people also come prepared to take note so they know exactly what to expect there. That helps you establish it as a real summit. And people are like, oh my God, this is what I want to discuss. This is what I'm looking to learn. But another thing that I tell people is use that to build your email list. Don't just share the direct YouTube link. Share a link to go to your website, ask people to register. Why is that important? It makes it exclusive. The exclusivity of the feeling that you're giving people, it makes it a thing of value. They feel like you are giving something of value, even if it's going to be free. Let them register to your email list. And after they register, guess what? They get the link, which is a free link. They know it's free. They're not paying for that event, but they've registered. They've showed that they're interested in what you're talking about. And on the flip side, you're leveraging SEO like none other because you've posted a web link. You've put the information of this live stream on your web page. Google picks it up. You put the details about it. Now, here you are. If you do that like once a week, here you are, a whole list of expert subject matter conversations that tags back to your website, to a place that you control, and conversation that you have fostered, which ultimately is only going to cause you to sell more of your product and services. Listen, this is money media marketing. So I'm giving you guys, the strategies so you can follow and grow. Like, oh snap, I'm missing something. Yes, right? And that's the part that people miss. Yes, you can get up and just go live impromptu. That's okay. No, that is not expected. Know that people have busy lives and they may or may not be able to attend. They may love you to the moon. They may be at a soccer game. Like me, I can go to my basketball game with my son while you just decided to go live. I may want to join, and now I'm going to feel like, oh, goodness, you didn't give me a heads up to prepare, make time to join you. And so you might start creating some friction in the hearts of your followers. And if they can see that you are not like predictable, and they cannot really build their, lives surrounding the things that you do, they will not truly be engaging with your brand. And that will kill your value proposition. And so really understand that technology is there to support you, but it's also the intentionality that you have in leveraging the technology for people to use that matters the most.
Absolutely. So you touched on it a little bit about misconceptions, right? So what are some misconceptions about live streaming that you hear all the time? Like you always encounter them, and let's just address them, right? Because I always feel like, I always want to know what to do, but it's always kind of nice when an expert will tell me what not to do as well, right? So what are some of the common mistakes or misconceptions you come across all the time, and like, let's address them.
Love it.
Mythbusters.
Love it. And the first thing I'll tell you, oh man, so many people tell me, JP, I don't know what to talk about. What? Yes, you know what to talk about. Because I guarantee you, the right person will to start asking you the right questions. You will start answering, you will light up. So ask yourself this question. What are some of the most, recurring questions I keep getting from my surrounding? What are people always gravitating towards me about? Write a whole list. Start there. And then from there,
what are all those things they want to pick your brain for?
Yes.
All those questions that they always want to pick your brain for.
Exactly. They're always trying to pick your brain. Hey, what do you think about that? Just little things. Write them down and make a live video about those things. Trust me. From there, your community members, ask them, hey, while I'm doing this, tell me if there's anything you guys want me to talk about. Let me know. I would love to know because I'm here to serve you. Be genuine. They will tell you the things they really want you to talk about. Like I know my Patty can send me a message right now. Say, JP, you explained this very well, but I'm having a problem with this specific thing. Can you talk about that? Or do you have a tutorial about that? See, that's fantastic. You want people like that in your life because you'll be like, oh, snap. I may be the expert. Sometimes I may have shared and may not have taken enough time to cover a specific aspect. Now, I just got an idea of a follow-up video, and people love follow-up videos, right? Which becomes like a series of training videos that they will want to be part of. And so create, go live, schedule that, and talk about it. Fantastic. Now, another thing as well is, people will tell you, nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to show up. So usually when people say that, they're looking for, having 1,000 people. Let me be real with you. You're not going to get 1,000 people in the room if you don't show up for yourself first. Let me say that again. You're not going to get 1,000 people show up for you unless you have consistently showed up for yourself. Remember what I said? Schedule it, make it predictable, allow people to know when, where, and how. Allow them to input that into their schedules and be consistent.
Yeah, that is so true.
Right? Be consistent.
That is so true.
If you don't do that, guess what?
I so remember when I did my very first live event in New York City. I remember I did it at like 14 people show. But I treated those 14 people like they were there.
Yes.
And that was 14 years ago. That's a 7-figure event every single year now. But I have to tell you, I didn't give up because, there was only 14. Those people, they got the best and the most amount of time with me. Were they complaining that there were only 14 there? Because they were really there to see what I was going to give them.
Mm-hmm.
I got to give them so much more because I didn't have to share it with 100 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to tell you, if there's only one person that shows up, man, the right people are in the room or show up on your lives or whatever the case may be. Whoever's supposed to be there will be there.
They will be there. And let me be honest with you, folks. I'd rather have 10 clients making me $100,000 a month than 100 clients making me the same $100,000 a month. I'd rather work less for more.
For sure.
It's just how the cookie crumbles, right?
No, I think that is so true. So JP, if we were going to look ahead, what emerging trends in live video do you see as opportunities for businesses to explore? It's like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times people are catching up, but we have an expert on the show today, right? We have the man here. So, so tell us, what are some emerging trends? So maybe we could be trendsetters. People could be thinking ahead and kind of, not everybody jumps on things when they come out, right? We always have those early adopters, right?
Right.
A lot of times those people like that, they really nail it, right? And stuff. And then there's the ones that are catching up. And not that there's anything wrong with that if you don't want to be an early adopter. But if you do and you're thinking, man, I really wish I would have got in on whatever. So what are some emerging trends that you're kind of seeing that might be some opportunities for people to be exploring now and getting ahead of the game?
Yes, 2 things, actually. So glad you're asking me this question because I do a lot of podcasts and people don't usually ask me this part of the, interviews, and I love it. The first one I will tell you is, folks, in video selling, right? And somewhat existent already, but it's not really broadly available, which mean, like when you watch TV, QVC or a specific channel, and then you can click your remote, right, and just purchase a product they're talking about. That is coming very vividly in the world of, social media live streaming, right? YouTube doesn't have it per se yet. You have something called Amazon Live, which we discuss in the book as well. And Amazon Live allow people to click on the product, but again, it's not 100% there, not like on cable TV yet. And that is coming. So having the ability to have products that you're talking about and have those available and have people being able to click on those things and purchase it right there on the screen, my goodness, it's something that I'm excited about that is coming. So please make sure that if you have a YouTube, have a product account attached to your YouTube. Look it up. There's a way to do that. If you're not on Amazon Live yet, make sure you register for the Amazon Influencer account, right? Program, and make sure that once you're eligible, you get approved, you're in, and you're leveraging that to position your products, because trust me, I make money from there as well. People buy a lot of product, especially during prime month or prime day sale and a whole lot of seasons like Thanksgiving, you name it. People are spending a lot of money. And trust me, once you have it there, you have those product videos right there. And those are just things that you have in your office, nothing special. Things that you do, things that you use to allow you to do what you do best. People spend money on that, right? And get ahead of the curve. Now, another thing I'll tell you is the metaverse. I actually did a live stream where I had a meta quest on my face and I interviewed somebody from the metaverse. And let me tell you something. If you do not have an account in the metaverse, do it now. Have some sort of presence in the metaverse, because that's the future. Okay. I have a lot of followers already connecting with me in the metaverse, right? Do that right now. Just get it. It's $300 or something. Get it. You don't have to be using it every day. Get it or get somebody to do it for you.
It's like hedging your bets. That's like hedging your bets.
Yes.
$200 hedge your bets, right? You know, that's the name of the game. Like you think of it, oh, I didn't want to. Yes, just do it.
Do it now.
You know, I mean, yeah, do it now. Got that? Do it now.
Do it now. Create an account. It's just for your brand, just for you to be even available there, right? Do it now. Here's the cool thing. You don't need a VR headset on your face for them to send you a notification to your email. That's somebody trying to connect with your brand and buy something from you from the metaverse. You know that? It's because you were there that they even found you and connected with you. Just to let you know, they watch YouTube videos. YouTube is in there. So all your videos that you upload to YouTube, people are watching it in the metaverse. So come on.
There you go.
Be present.
There you go. Okay, so we're going to backtrack a little bit as we're wrapping here.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone who's just starting with live streaming, right, and maybe they've got a few videos out and they've been kind of hesitant, and now they're listening to this podcast and they're like, oh, wow, man, I need to up this up, right? You know, so what would you say would be some foundational advice would you offer them to set them up for success if they're just getting started?
Wow, this is good and is very important that you discuss this. Thank you for this question. You know, whenever you're going to do a live video, have a predictable schedule that you're not going to change for at least 6 months. Why? Well, let me tell you something. YouTube requires that amount of time for them to start trusting you, not a person, the AI, the software, trusting you and start recommending your videos and your channel consistently to people, which is going to allow you to grow rapidly, right? So a set schedule. If it once a week, once a month, every day, whatever you can commit to for at least 6 months. I mean, you can't change it until after 6 months, right? And so make sure you do that. That's very important. Think about that first. And then second, what are you going to use to go live? Make sure whatever you are, you're not relying on Wi-Fi. Rely on local hosted connected via Ethernet cable connection. Okay. It has to be hardwired to whatever device you're using. Now, somebody will tell me, well, JP, what if I'm using a cell phone? Well, you can start there, I always say, but don't stay there. Okay. Because one thing I'll tell you is today, people are not as patient as they used to be. And whenever you go live, one thing I'll tell you is invest first in the audio before the camera, because the audio is more important in video. If you know anything about cinematography, it's more important than the visual. People will listen to you if you have a crystal clear audio. Guess what they're not going to do, even if you have an amazing camera? If they can't hear you properly, if your audio is terrible, they're out of there. And one thing that I always say is learn how to leverage your audio for the audio-only podcast world, right? So when you record, keep in mind that I'm recording or I am going live for both video and audio audience. And so the way you're talking to them, tell them things like, hey, for the folks that are watching or listening to this podcast, we want to tell you A, B, C, and D. So be intentional about that, about your community, your video community, and then your audio community. And just be you. And trust me, if you do those things, you'll be successful.
Now, that is really good. Now, you talked a little bit about the book. So you kind of mentioned the book. So let's talk about the book. And you'll be able to see a button that you'll be able to just get to go and buy the book. But so the book is called The Livestream Blueprint, Starting and Scaling Your Business with Live Video. So what can they expect to get out of that book? So is this book for like newbies? Is this book for some intermediate? Like, what's the level of the reader for the book? Like, well, I mean, is this like advanced strategies? Is this like brand new stuff? Is it like the money making strategies? I mean, it's a blueprint, and I love blueprints, right? You know, blueprints are really good. When somebody tells me they can give me a blueprint, that's really, really great. So what can they expect to get out of the book? What's it going to be filled with?
Great question. So this book is about people that want to grow their business. There's nothing wrong if you don't have a business or you're not looking to grow with that. That's perfectly fine. But this is for folks that are small business owners or entrepreneurs, right? People that want to have a small business or already have one and are looking to leverage live video as a specific strategy for growth, right? Because you can have multiple different strategies, but this is if you want to leverage that. Now, in the book, this is for a person that has no idea anything about video or live video. They can pick up this book and learn everything about it, have the entire blueprint for not just starting, right, their live video, but building a successful live video show, right? We talk about podcasting, video podcasting. We talk about different platforms. We have several case studies, right? We talked about the technology aspect of it for the advanced people, right? What are the tech things to use? And one thing that I personally love about this book is the interactiveness of it. Meaning it does have QR codes where you can just scan with your phone and it takes you to a video training. So the things that we discuss in the book, you read it and then you're like, wow, let me watch the video training and it gets to my video. And then now we're talking about even more things that are not in the book. So I've really taken the time to give people my heart, right? Share with them so much that it's more than just a book. It's a complete manual for you to really be successful when it comes down to using live video as an ultimate tool for you to grow your brand and monetize, rapidly, which means, you're really growing.
That is so awesome. So you guys are going to want to get the book. But hey, we're not stopping there. There's more. So and there it is. Yes. For those that are watching, you get to see the book. So he also has a gift. And tell us a little bit about the gift, because I have to tell you, pro video masterclass, like that is pretty impressive, right? So yes. Tell us about that. We'll also have the button so everybody can just click and get that too. But tell us a little bit about what that is.
This video is pretty much a free masterclass that's going to give you everything you need, like knowledge about everything I personally use, right, to produce my video content, whether it's live or pre-recorded, right? And everything you might want to use in order to have a highly engaging live video, platform. And I give you everything 100% free. Well, of course, you're going to, buy with your email address. Pretty much all you have to do is just go to the link. And again, Patty is going to give it to you, right? And you go to that link, tap in your name and email address and just go in, and there you go. You have access to it, right? Make sure when you go in, click on register, right? Don't click on join, just click on register, free account, select free, go in and go ahead and enroll to the course and learn all the strategies that I use, all the tools and everything that I do in order to show up like a king, or my wife would tell you like a queen, right? Or like leaders in Zoom meetings and any video platform. Listen, folks, the way you show up will determine the outcome of the conversation.
For sure.
And you need to master the way you show up on video. And that's what I teach in there.
I love that. I love that. So JP, I know they're all going to want to get a hold of you. This has been some really great information. So what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Oh man, that's my favorite part. I love networking. So listen, folks, if you want to connect with me, well, the first thing I'll tell you is just go to my website, right? Directly, right? It's jphightek.com, jphightek.com for the folks that are listening. And here's the thing. Besides that, I love getting social with people, right? Networking is the new currency, right? And that's how I live my life. So please connect with me. My handle is at JP Hightek, exactly the same way, JPHIGHTK on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, I am there. But ultimately, connect with me on YouTube, because every week we talk about these things, how to really help you grow your business, leveraging technology and content creation. That's what I talk about every single week. And so you're about to be having Patty there soon. So you just stay tuned. Yeah. But yeah, this is just amazing folks like Patty and other experts that come there. And we really share our expertise with you free of charge. It's on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, JP Hightek YouTube channel, and let's go together and let's impact this world as leaders that we are. Thank you so much, Patty, for having me.
Thank you so much. And so here's the part of the show. You've given so much information and you've shared from your heart and from your expertise. And I love that. So thank you for sharing your brilliance so generously. But this is the part of the show that I like to call #OpenMic, right? Where I ask my guests to share. This is the Marketing, Media, and Money podcast. So I always say, if you had to narrow it down to one strategy, what is that strategy?
Well, the strategy will be simply using video podcasts as an organic marketing tool and lead magnet to what? Promote your product, services, and establish your expertise, which ultimately is going to allow you to convert more customers. Here's the thing. This has truly allowed me to build 6+ figure business in just 5 months. Everything I'm talking about today, that's what it did for me. And if you do it right, if you follow the blueprint, I guarantee you, you're going to make way more. We've done it not just for myself, but for several other customers and clients.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much, JP, for being here with me today. And like I said, for sharing your brilliance so generously. I just love that about you.
My pleasure.
So I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me, Patty.
To my audience, thank you. And to my audience, thank you so much for showing up week after week and being here with me. I really appreciate you being here. And if you enjoyed this episode, and I am sure you did, please like, subscribe, and review it on your favorite listening platform. And we would love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Marketing, Media, and Money. In case you didn't know, we recently went video. We were literally for 150 episodes, we were audio only, but now we're video. And we would really love it if you'd support that by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And not only that, but did you know that we actually have a magazine as well? We'd love to give you a copy of that magazine too. So just go to www.m3, that stands for Marketing, Media, and Money, m3magazine.com. Grab your free copy of that magazine. We'll see you again next week. In the meantime, have a phenomenal week. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today on the Marketing, Media, and Money podcast. To shorten your learning curve even more, make sure to grab your free copy of the Marketing, Media, and Money magazine at m3magazine.com. That's M3, magazine.com. I promise your business will thank you.